This is breaking news from KETV News Watch 7 and KETV.com. Good afternoon, I'm Julie Cornell. We're getting ready to tune in to Governor Pete Ricketts and his daily briefing. Let's go to Lincoln.
Good hygiene programs like washing your hands frequently. If you're going to go out in public, wearing a mask is a good idea. Stay 6 feet away from other people, all that sort of good stuff. On hospital data, we are still about where we have been. 46% of hospital beds are available across the state, 43% of ICU beds, and 77% of ventilators are available across the state. Testing schedule. So again, we want people to sign up for testnebraska.com. We've got about 150,000 people that are signed up for it right now. This will help us give an assessment of the state. It takes less than 5 minutes to fill out the assessment. Your data is secure, and this is how we're going to schedule people. And we are this week in Omaha, Lincoln, Hastings, Kearney, York, Seward, Beatrice, and Clay Center. I think we're in York this morning from 8 to 11, and then 3 to 6 p.m. this afternoon. So again, when I say schedule people, this is you sign up for the test. If you are one of those categories that's prioritized, first responders, healthcare workers, food processors, somebody who's 65 or older, somebody who's symptomatic, those are the folks that we look to prioritize to get the test. The testnebraska.com program schedules that, and it's free. So you don't have to pay anything for it to get that test. So please sign up for testnebraska.com as we get started here in this shortened week after the holiday. Actually, and speaking of the holiday, I want to compliment John Hilgert and his team at the Department of Veterans Affairs for the virtual Memorial Day ceremony that they held here in the Rotunda. I thought it was very well done. They did a very nice job, and I want to thank all the volunteers who, stood there throughout the day to be able to really remember our fallen and for our veterans and all the men and women who put on that uniform. So thank you to all the volunteers who helped with that. Department of Motor Vehicles. So one of the things that we have done at the state is we've continued to work. There's been about 17 counties who have remained open throughout the pandemic. So we've continued to provide services through those counties and at their courthouses and so forth, their offices, to be able to provide driver's licenses. We've also worked with third-party providers on CDLs, those commercial driver's licenses, and we've been able to help about 700 people get those CDLs over the course of the pandemic as well. Our offices, our service centers are open too, so we continue to be able to serve people through that. And we want to continue to work with county offices to be able to provide those things. So Rhonda Lamb is going to come up and shoot. There was one other thing, Ron, I was going to mention with regard to DMV. What was it? Okay, she's looking at me like, I don't know what you're going to say. I'll think of it later, right? Again, oh, I know. Well, Rhonda's going to talk about, I had signed an executive order 2025, which extends for some of our seniors their driver's licenses. So anybody who is 72 years or older will have their driver's license extended for 1 year as long as that driver's license expires this year. So if your driver's license expires this year, we've signed an executive order, or I signed that executive order that will extend it for a year. And what that is really about is making sure that our seniors don't have to wait in line, as we anticipate that there's some pent-up demand for people getting their driver's licenses. So we're going to just go ahead and waive those for our seniors so that they will not have to wait in line, and we'll be able to come back in 2021 to be able to get their driver's license. So with that, Rhonda, I'm going to go ahead and have you come up and talk a little bit more about what we're doing at the DMV, because every day is a great day at the DMV, right?
You got it right.
All right.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Governor Ricketts. I would like to thank the governor for the executive order he signed earlier today and for his ongoing leadership. This executive order will extend expiration dates for all driver's licenses for drivers age 72 and older whose license expires between March 1st and December 31st of this year, and it will extend them for 1 year past the expiration date on their license. This is a great step to help safeguard some of the vulnerable population from COVID in Nebraska. While DMV services continued to be available in all counties where the DMV was permitted to provide service, this meant we were only able to serve customers in some locations and only in 3 locations on a daily basis. Back in March, the governor signed an executive order extending the expiration date for all driver's licenses and ID cards until 30 days after the emergency declaration is lifted. This was great news for our customers who no longer had to rush to renew their license, but when the drive tests were suspended, it was disappointing for a few, especially some teenagers. Drive tests will commence tomorrow, Wednesday, May 27th. Services will be available in all counties where courthouses are open to walk-in public traffic. We will continue to operate our standard practices for drive tests in the Omaha Metro South office in Bellevue. To set up a drive test at the Bellevue Metro office, customers can give us a call to schedule their appointment. Details can be found on our website at dmv.nebraska.gov. We have taken a number of steps to increase our capacity throughout the state, including in the Omaha metro area. We are reassigning teammates, hiring temporary staff, and extending our operating hours in facilities where we are permitted to do so in order to increase our service capacity. We anticipate being able to more than double our standard capacity for administering skills tests in the Omaha metro area, and will ramp up further capacity as more temporary teammates come on board. Our teammates will be provided with appropriate personal protective equipment to help safeguard the health and safety of our customers and examiners. Given the confined quarters of the vehicle and consistent with recommendations from the CDC and OSHA, we will require our customers to wear a face covering while participating in the drive test. In line with the governor's message, we are asking anyone who is unwell to please stay home, and we'll be happy to reschedule your drive test for a different day. I know many people are wondering when their local office will reopen, and I will tell you you'll need to contact your local county officials. As soon as the county lets us know the date they intend to reopen, we will publish the date driver's licensing services will be available on our website. As counties choose to open their offices again to walk-in public traffic and allow us to provide driver licensing services in their building, we will resume services in these areas. Lastly, I would like to remind everyone of the services available on our website at dmv.nebraska.gov. Time and again, Nebraskans have chosen to help out their neighbors and community when they can. Because services were no longer available in most counties, we asked Nebraskans to go online when possible, and they did. We have seen a big increase in our traffic to our website. We are very grateful for them using the alternative service options available, as it helps us serve customers where services may not be available. The vast majority of our customers are able to renew their driver's license or state ID online, and it is by far the easiest and fastest way to renew their license. We look forward to being able to resume full services across the state as quickly as possible.
Thank you very much, Rhonda. And just so we're clear, again, when we're talking about skills test, that's a driving test.
Right.
And so in the past, you've always had to schedule, make an appointment with that. And starting today, you've opened that up to start getting appointments. Is that correct?
So, correct. We're taking appointments as we
Right.
speak for Omaha.
Taking appointments as we speak for Omaha.
It's walk-in everywhere else in the state, and that's where it's always been everywhere else.
And it's walk-in everywhere else in the state. And that's the way it's always been everywhere else in the state. So,
We get appointments in Omaha.
yeah, so it's just kind of standard practice, right? In Omaha, you have to make an appointment. The rest of the state, where we still have county offices open, those 17 or whatever, then you will be able to walk in and get your driver's test. So good news for those teenagers who haven't got their driver's license yet. All right. Thank you very much, Ron. Appreciate it. All right. So one of the things, we had the First Lady in here talking about what Nebraska Impact is doing to provide masks to people in vulnerable communities. Their goal was to get 2,500 hand-sewn or cloth-covered masks to be able to distribute. So they asked for people to sign up to be able to provide those. And very pleased to let people know we're about halfway there. We got about 1,200 of those masks. So if you would like to drop those masks off, you can, or send them, those masks in, you can still do that. We still have room to take more. So you can mail them to 201 North 8th Street, Suite 215 here in Lincoln, 68508. So again, if you've got masks you're ready to send in for Nebraska Impact to distribute, 201 North 8th Street, Suite 215 in Lincoln, 68508. So go ahead and send those in. You can, if you want to drop them off in person, you can send an email to masks@neimpact.org. So masks, M-A-S-K-S, at neimpact.org. You can email in. And then, of course, if you are still, if you're interested in getting a pattern or sewing or whatever, you can go to the website, www.neimpact.org/masks. And then there's where you can find out more information about the program there too, and including patterns to be able to sew. I believe you can find those patterns there. So again, please help us out. We're about halfway there. So anybody who's interested in sewing those masks to be distributed, please look at the nebraska.nyimpact.org website or send an email to mass@nyimpact.org. And also in that good news category, Medica, who is one of our insurance providers here in the state of Nebraska, is going to be putting about $15 million of their reserves into banks, community banks, here in the state of Nebraska. So that is in conjunction working with the Nebraska Independent Banking Association, and it will go to about 60 of our community banks here in the state. And as you know, when people deposit money in banks, that money then gets turned around into being able to do things like loans and so forth that help grow the economy. So we appreciate Medica being a good business partner here in the state, with the state of Nebraska, and depositing some of the reserves here in our state that then can be used in this community to be able to continue to grow our great state. So thank you very much, Medica. We appreciate it. Schedule for the week. So again, English language briefings here, 2 o'clock Central Time, Tuesday through Friday. We will have Spanish language briefings at 5 p.m. today and on Thursday again. I will do my last town hall on NETV, or on NET rather, on Thursday night from 8:30 to 9:30. Commissioner Bloomstead is going to be joining us, as well as Dr. Ali Khan from UNMC. So should have a good lineup there to be able to talk. And I think that covers it for our announcements. I've got a question here, and I think we might have a couple more, but Delon Diller from KETV. When will the governor lift the moratorium on evictions and utility shutoffs? What is the governor doing to assist Nebraskans who are financially impacted by coronavirus and could face eviction or utility shutoff when the moratorium is lifted? So take a step back on the utility shutoff. That's actually the local utilities are handling that individually. So the executive order assigned did not impact utility shutoffs. So my understanding is the utilities are all working locally with regard to that to make sure people's who have not been able to pay their utilities aren't getting shut off. With regard to eviction notices, there's an executive order that waives a statute that requires those evictions be scheduled within 2 weeks. That's expiring at the end of May, and I announced last week that we're going to continue to let that expire. However, what we've seen is with the money going out for the unemployment insurance, the pandemic unemployment insurance, that's $600 a week. That has started flowing out to people. We've got programs out there already through the federal government that has distributed over $10 million for homeless shelters and housing assistance to be able to help with that. Also, your community collaboratives do this all year round. So community collaboratives work with people to be able to help them if they're having difficulty with their rent. So I'd also suggest contacting your community collaborative with regard to that. So several options out there for folks. Oh, and of course, all the stimulus check money, the $1,200 went out to just about all those taxpayers as well. So lots of resources out there with regard to evictions. And Taylor.
Yes.
Yeah, where are you? Okay, there we go.
Yeah, Don Walton would like to know what are the latest hospital figures for the Omaha area?
So Don Walton would like to know what are the latest hospital figures for the Omaha area. And Dr. Antone, I'm going to call you up and have you give those to us, please.
So in the Omaha, Douglas County area, hospital situation has been very stable this past week and over the weekend. We currently have 135 patients hospitalized in the Omaha, Douglas County area. And compared to a week ago, that is an increase of 13 COVID positive patients. We were at 122 a week ago. So we have seen an increase in the number of patients hospitalized, but it hasn't really affected the bed availability generally or the actual ICU bed availability. We are at a 29% bed availability. We have 473 beds, or excuse me, 477 beds, or 473 beds out of a total of 1,647 beds available in the Douglas County Hospital area. That's 29% of bed availability compared to a week ago. That's an increase of 1% of bed availability, even though we did see an increase in the COVID patients being hospitalized. For ICU beds, there's 89 ICU beds available out of a total of 365. For a 24% ICU bed availability, that's an increase of 3% from last week. Ventilators don't seem to be an issue in the Omaha, Douglas County area. We have currently 188 out of 319 ventilators available, 59% ventilator availability in the Douglas County area. So I'm in contact again, even over the last 3 days, even more close contact with all the CMOs of the major hospitals in the Omaha area. Everybody feels like they're being able to handle the situation. We don't know really what percentage of bed availability is the right number right now. We're working on that to see. They feel they're managing the situation with the numbers I just gave you without any issues. As a matter of fact, after this conference, I'll be going down to meet with the pulmonary critical care doctors of each one of the major health systems to get their feel on how the ICUs are doing. Right now, it appears to be more of an ICU availability issue than a general bed or ventilator issue. So we're working very closely with them to come to that right balance as far as how we manage the COVID situation. Again, just to give you an idea, over the last 7 days, the number of hospitalized patients has been right at that 130 to 135 over the last several days. So really not a large increase or decrease. Anything else?
Thank you, Dr. Anto.
Don also wanted to know, are you aware of any weekend activity in Nebraska that violated directed health measures? And how should such violations be handled?
So the question was, am I aware of any weekend activity that it violated directed health measures here in the state of Nebraska? And if so, or in general, how should those measures be handled? I am not aware of any incidences where we had directed health measures being violated. And consistently, what I've said to folks is if you see somebody who could do a better job, contact that person first. Find the owner, the manager, whatever venue that is, and talk to them about it first. If you think that you need to have somebody else or it's a little bit awkward for you to do it, contact your local mayor. That's always a great place to start. Have the mayor reach out to that person. I always hold up the example of Mayor Gene Stother in Omaha. You know, weeks ago when we were getting started on this pandemic, we had issues with big box stores, and she reached out to them to ask them to take additional steps to be able to do social distancing, and they did. And that's what really our experience has been, is every time you've reached out to somebody and talked to them, almost universally, people are willing to accommodate you. So my first reaction, and would share with everybody, is if you see something that you think somebody can do a better job, just open up that line of communication in a very polite way, ask them if they can do more around social distancing or whatever you think needs to be improved upon. So that's how I would encourage people going forward, if they see something, to be able to handle it.
Christina Benny says, you talked about how meatpacking outbreaks could be due in part to dense housing among workers and their families. Do you feel like pointing this out builds stigma against hard-hit communities? What is your take on that?
So Christine, NET is saying, hey, I pointed out that part of the issue could be dense living, accommodations for folks in our food processing communities. She's saying, could that stigmatize them, and what is my take on that? Actually, I don't think that is something that is unique to the food processing industry. I think there's a number of people who live in housing that could be difficult to socially distance. And so that's why we have created a whole program around being able to do that with regard to what we're doing with UNO, UNL, and so forth, is if people feel like they have to move out to be able to make sure that they're protecting their loved ones, we have space available to do that isolation, that quarantine. And it may not just be around dense housing either. It could just be you've got an elderly person at home. So if you've got multiple generations and you've got somebody elderly at home you don't want to put at risk, we've got housing accommodations to be able to help out that, and you can get access to that through your local public health department. So I don't think it actually is related specifically to food processing.
Danielle wants an update on how are we going to reach our goal to get to 3,000 tests per day through Test Nebraska?
So Danielle wants to know, what are we doing to get to 3,000 tests per day through Test Nebraska? Actually, folks, I got to tell you, we did give most of the folks that were doing the testing Sunday and Monday off so that they could rest up and spend time with their families. But starting today, we're getting right back at it with regard to getting that ramped up with regard to Test Nebraska, and I'm continuing to push the team to get up to that 3,000 tests a day.